What's up, y'all? We back with another video, and today we got Kandi spilling a little bit of interesting tea about Marlo, so get into this video.
Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Richie Scott, and we are back with another video. Welcome back to the channel if you are a returning subscriber, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell button, because we come out with videos every day right now. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Scott if you want to know more about my personal life. A lot of you guys may know me from Stripped on Bravo, AfterBuzz TV, but a lot of you guys may know me from here in this channel right here. So, welcome. So, I want to go ahead and I don't even want to waste no time. Let's get into the video, man. So Kandi, well, first of all, I told y'all the other day, the off-season jumps just as much as the on-season for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And yeah, we do a lot of talking about them here on this channel, but I got some other news coming for y'all. So don't fret if you think that this is all we're gonna talk about, because we got more coming. But for right now, all of this keeps happening, so I just keep bringing it to y'all. Can't help it. All right, so let's get on into it. Now, Kandi is spilling some information about Marlo that I thought was kind of, now it's a little bit contradictory to what we have been hearing or what we've been kind of even assessing on this channel. So for a while now, we've all thought to ourselves, well, Marlo is happy being a friend of the Housewives, right? Because it allows her to live her personal life and not really have to share much of it with the world. You know what I'm saying? Because as a friend of, what you get is basically this person coming on the show and simply being a friend, acting up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Doing a little bit of the messy stirring of the pot or whatever in Marlo's case, which is completely unlike Tanya. But, you know, Marlo has been on the show for several seasons now, and she's pretty much had the same role ever since she's been on the show, which is kind of like the messy friend. So, interestingly, Kandi is sort of giving us a different perspective on this. Take a listen.
You know, I mean, to be fair to Marlo, I feel, because I was actually, producing another show a while back that she was supposed to be a part of. I feel like nobody has ever given her a chance to tell her personal story. And that's the difference between a housewife peach holder and a friend of the show. Like, you get to see our personal life story outside of the group. And I feel like she definitely has an interesting story.
And I guess the other question would be, would she want that? Do you think she would want to tell her story?
I think she definitely would.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know she would.
Yeah, because
another show.
Okay, but I mean, sometimes people are like, okay, I don't want to reveal everything about my life. When you get to that level, it's all coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, she's been taking the heat just for being a friend, so she might as well get a bit of it.
All right, so this is interesting, and it makes so much sense. All right, now Kandi is saying that Marlo would love to be a part of the show, which a lot of us have, including myself. Listen, I thought completely differently, right? But it does make sense. Why actually hang around, for this long if you really didn't want to be like full time on this show? So I guess the question is, for me, what's the biggest reason that, Bravo doesn't make her a housewife, right? And so a part of me thought to myself, maybe it's legal reasons, right? Like, because I hate to even bring this up, but she has a lot of mugshots, right? So maybe they feel like she would be a liability, but she hasn't really been violent with anybody on the show. And I don't want to necessarily judge her based on her past, because she might not be that person anymore. So, but let me say this, because a lot of you guys will be quick to point out that there are a lot of housewives with mugshots. Now, maybe they don't have as many as she does, but there are a lot of housewives out there with mugshots. Actually, there are a lot of people in life in general with mugshots, and that doesn't make any of them bad people. That just means that they got into a situation that maybe they got a DUI. Maybe they, did not pay child support. I mean, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? There's all sorts of reasons that people can get caught up in a situation and get locked up. And a lot of times it ends up being the DUI situation with a lot of these Bravo stars. You know what I'm saying? They get, and the scary thing about the DUI is it can really happen to anybody. If you drink in general, or just even take a sip and then leave the restaurant or whatever, you, depending on how much you drink, you could literally get into an accident or get pulled over for, speeding or reckless driving or whatever the case may be. So it can happen to anybody, and we don't fault any of these people for that. But what I'm wondering is, does Bravo view Marlo as a liability? So I guess the reason that, and I asked that question, having said everything that we just said, or maybe she just doesn't fit the Bravo brand. I know myself personally, what they like in terms of individuals that they cast on the show. They have a certain type of personality that they're looking for, but specifically people that are very open about their lives, which, Marlo has been somewhat vague in her responses to what she actually really does, right? So I really want, is it that, or is it this?
We got a lot to cover, so I want to go ahead and get started because I want to hear everything you got to say about these topics.
And I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay.
And Marlo hasn't gotten impeached because she ruined the show that we were working on. Yeah, Kandi and Todd were producing a show for WeTV. It was a fashion-based reality show about fashion designers and media people in Atlanta on the up and up. And we were 2 weeks away from filming. I mean, production deal done, contract signed, production staff in place, showrunner in the city. And we got a call that said the show was being canceled because the cast, a la Marlo and one other castmate, Rico Chappelle, were being extremely difficult. And they said, we are not in the process or habit of creating monsters. Ooh. And if you guys are being this difficult now, we can only imagine what you will be later. And the show was nixed.
So I'm actually gonna sit down with Funky Dineva. Now, I've played this clip on the show before, but I'm actually gonna sit down with Funky Dineva because and I really wanna sit down and talk with him about a lot of things that are going on in pop culture, specifically his thoughts on Housewives and stuff like that, and maybe because he has lived in the Atlanta area, maybe get some more perspective about what goes on behind the scenes, specifically with the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. I know more about, I think things that go on in like DC with Potomac because I lived there for a very long time. But for anybody that's lived in the Atlanta streets, maybe, she's just actually just a total diva and it really wouldn't work for her to be on this type of show because I'm gonna tell y'all something like this. Bravo, now listen, I would say that WeTV is here. I would say that Bravo is here, right? Okay, and on the terms of pay and what the network is doing and their branding, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like if WeTV wasn't willing to put up with that, I know Bravo is not willing to put up with that at all. So is it that she's just too much of a diva to deal with? What is really the case and what's preventing her? Because now, in light of what Kandi's saying, this is completely contrary to what I've thought in the past. I used to think it was just that, maybe she just doesn't really want to, put her life on display. But now I'm thinking otherwise. And I want to know what you guys think about this. Does what Kandi just said give you a new perspective on Marlo and her role on the show and what she really wants from it? Or do you think that, maybe Kandi is wrong and maybe just, Marlo is not, maybe she doesn't want to show her life? Or do you feel like she's just not a good fit for the show? Do you feel like she just doesn't fit the mold of what a housewife should be? Because, she's not married, but some of the housewives had not been married when they came on the show. She doesn't have any kids necessarily, but that's okay because neither did Bethany when she first came on the show, neither did Kenya Moore when she first came on the show. Porsha was married, but she didn't have any kids when she first came on the show. So, I compare her to Kim Zolciak, and I've said this before in another video, she had a big papa Marlo may have a big papa, but we never even have to see him. Listen, I want to know more about her life. I agree with Wendy Williams. Yet again, I'm gonna say this again. I know we talk about her every time she comes up, but you know, because she's in the, you know, because Kandi's talking about her right now, I feel like I gotta mention it again. And I want to know what you guys think about this because it's actually out there in the press right now. So comment down below what you guys think about this. Do you think that she really wants to be to have a peach and that she really wants to be a housewife? And Bravo's just like, nah, B, we not really here for that. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I really want to know. Also, subscribe to the channel because we do come out with these videos on a day-to-day basis. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DJ Richie Sky. I'm sometimes posting, sometimes, you know, showing you guys behind the scenes of my life. And I will see you guys in the next video.